All right, the party's over for Airbnb renters. The company said yesterday that its temporary ban on parties and other large, noisy events is now permanent.
I've put all my savings into my unit. I'm following all the rules, paying all the taxes, buying the business license.
Ultimately, our goal is to get more housing back into the housing market for people to be able to rent.
I just uncovered a massive amount of debt that Airbnb hasn't paid. On the books that they're hiding. Tens of millions, hundreds of millions, possibly even $1 billion plus of debt that they have not paid.
So we are looking around and are saying, what can we do right away that makes more homes available?
Imagine stepping into a world where a $100 billion market has transformed the face of global tourism, ignited a housing crisis across nations, and minted fortunes for those who seized the opportunity early. This is the realm of short-term rentals, a concept that burgeoned from a spark of innovation into a towering inferno that's reshaping modern real estate. But what happens when the tide turns? When customers, governments, and even the very hosts who built this empire start to retreat from an idea that once promised fun, casual alternatives to the monolithic hotel industry? Enter the game changer, Airbnb. A brainchild of Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, who simply sought to offer an air mattress and a spare room to conference attendees in a pinch. Fast forward, and that humble air bed and breakfast has evolved into the juggernaut we all have an opinion on today. Surpassing the worth of Hilton and Wyndham combined, Airbnb stands as the titan of short-term rentals, penetrating global markets with an ease that peers like Uber, DoorDash, and even Amazon have eyed with envy. Customers once embraced the innovation for its cost-friendly edge over stale hotel experiences, while hosts reveled in the chance to monetize an empty nest. A win-win, right? But now, we're at a crossroads where the very pillars that prop up this market, the consumers, the hosts, the communities, and the platforms, are each grappling with their own set of challenges that threaten to unravel this vibrant tapestry, and potentially other real estate ventures as well. And at the heart of this unraveling, perhaps those we least empathize with. But who are they, and what's at stake for them, and for all of us? Let's dive deep and uncover the layers behind the glittering facade of short-term rentals. Let's pivot to the hosts, often perceived as the beneficiaries of this lucrative ecosystem, yet not the easiest to empathize with. Airbnb and similar platforms have revolutionized real estate profitability, converting spare rooms into gold mines. Previously, taking in a long-term roommate was the go-to, but now, hosts could rake in up to triple the earnings with short-stay travelers. These platforms didn't just open the doors to financial gain, but introduced a new level of autonomy. Hosts were no longer tethered to the risks of incompatible roommates. They now had the power to dictate the availability of their space, ensuring any potential conflicts were transient at most. The appeal was undeniable: hassle-free payments, a robust rating system, and the liberty to reclaim your space at a moment's notice. It wasn't long before savvy investors recognized a new niche: full property short-term rentals, a lucrative alternative to traditional leasing. Yet, with expansion comes saturation. The platform's aggressive marketing to both guests and new hosts led to a surge in property purchases for Airbnb purposes. What started as a side hustle burgeoned into full-time engagements, mirroring the demands of hotel management. Enterprising realtors quickly caught on, offering management services to alleviate the operational burdens from hosts. This ecosystem seemed sustainable, but it wasn't without its Achilles heel. As the market swelled with options, hosts confronted a new reality: diminished rentals and reduced profitability. The financial gap between short and long-term rentals started to close, undermining the once attractive risk-reward ratio of short-term lets. For those heavily leveraged on the premium short-term rental yields, the shift isn't just a setback, it's a potential financial crisis. The once thriving hosts face a stark decision: pivot or perish in the aftershock of a saturated market. And this is merely the first chapter in the unraveling saga of the short-term rental market. The hosts played their part in the emergence of this storm, but they were not its sole architects. Now, let's delve into the second quandary, where the charm of short-term rentals began to clash with the evolving desires of travelers. Initially, Airbnb filled a gap in the market for those who found traditional hotels impersonal and exorbitantly priced, offering a cozy home away from home at a fraction of the cost. Hotels, with their myriad of amenities, were geared towards a different clientele. Sure, services like room service and gyms are great, but many vacationers longed for simplicity and intimacy, qualities inherent to the Airbnb experience. This revolutionary idea redefined vacation stays by stripping back the superfluous and delivering the essentials, often leading to substantial savings, particularly for groups. Indeed, Airbnb's allure was undeniable. But as we survey the current landscape, we encounter a shift. Once a cost-effective option, Airbnb now wrestles with premium pricing, challenging even five-star establishments. According to their data, while bookings surged by 70%, the total value of these reservations inflated by an astounding 67%. Hotel chains, not to be outdone, adapted. They've expanded into the market with apartment-style lodgings that merge hotel reliability with the spaciousness of an Airbnb, striking a resonant chord with customers seeking the best of both worlds. Yet another wrinkle in customer satisfaction arises from service expectations. As hosts aim to minimize their efforts, some imposed stringent conditions on guests, often accompanying hefty cleaning fees, leaving a sour taste and tarnishing Airbnb's reputation. Now, this isn't to paint all hosts with the same brush. Many provide exemplary stays. However, the few who prioritize profits over hospitality contribute to a growing disillusionment, compelling travelers to question, why not opt for a hotel where the fine print doesn't include a mop and bucket? This trio of challenges, price, competitive offerings, and service standards, has begun to erode the very foundations of Airbnb's once unique proposition. As we continue to unravel the complexities of this issue, remember that these are but a few threads in the intricate tapestry of the short-term rental conundrum. In our third chapter of the short-term rental saga, we confront the societal strain Airbnb has inadvertently introduced. Indeed, for a platform that sought to connect travelers with unique local stays, the repercussions of its business model have extended far beyond its digital borders. For the residents in bustling urban centers, the Airbnb effect is far from abstract. As homes morphed into transient lodgings, communities felt the pinch. Cities famed for their vibrancy and charm faced an unintended consequence: a scarcity of affordable housing. Those who called these neighborhoods home found themselves in a precarious position, outpriced by the lucrative allure of short-term lets. This dissonance between the platform's users and the non-consenting bystanders has caught the attention of policymakers. In a bid to protect the interests of permanent residents, cities worldwide are clamping down, imposing taxes, regulations, and, in some cases, outright bans on unlicensed short-term rentals. Yet, it's not just legislators stepping into the fray. Homeowners associations and community members, wearied by the transient chaos of revolving guests, have started to draw their own lines in the sand. The allure of peaceful neighborhood life is clashing with the reality of partygoers and fleeting visitors. In the face of this resistance, some hosts have opted for a cavalier approach, absorbing fines as just another operating expense. But this semi-legal dance is precarious, with reports like that from Mill University exposing a substantial portion of listings in Los Angeles as operating in a legal gray area. Airbnb, caught in the crossfire, is bleeding millions to defend its model in courts around the globe, all while maintaining the facade of community-driven experiences through aggressive marketing campaigns. The paradox is evident. Airbnb's push for local connections and advertising doesn't always match the reality of whole home rentals where guests and hosts rarely, if ever, meet. This dissonance lies at the heart of the platform's current predicament: how to reconcile the appeal of authentic travel experiences with the legislative and community pushback that threatens its very operation. The roots of Airbnb are steeped in a simple yet enchanting narrative. A homeowner shares their spare room, offering travelers a peek into the local way of life. This imagery of communal living and authentic experiences provided the company with an allure that transcended mere accommodation. Yet, as the platform burgeoned, so too did its departure from this idyllic vision. The marketplace swelled with investors and corporations managing portfolios of properties, diluting the quaint charm with a commercial sheen. In this increasingly crowded arena, competitors are vying for dominance, wielding established traveler networks as weapons. Sites like TripAdvisor, Booking.com, and Expedia, with their own short-term rental ventures, are leveraging their traffic and trust to siphon market share. Airbnb's fee structure, once a necessary toll for unique accommodations, is now under scrutiny. Hosts and guests alike, burdened by service fees that inflate costs, are seeking refuge with alternative platforms or local agencies that promise lower expenses and more personal service. Though Airbnb enjoys the fruits of its towering transaction fees, this lucrative model has also cast a bullseye on the brand. Competitors recognize the profit potential and are hungry for a slice, unencumbered by any significant barriers to entry aside from brand loyalty. The challenge now is differentiation. With no impervious moat of innovation or proprietary technology, Airbnb's once distinctive brand is facing erosion. New entrants, armed with perhaps sleeker interfaces or lower prices, stand ready to entice away customers. As the narrative closes, the question lingers. In a world teeming with choices and consumers increasingly indifferent to brand allegiance, how will Airbnb reinvent itself to retain its cherished position in the market? As we trace Airbnb's trajectory from its origins as a disruptor in the hospitality industry to the crossroads it faces today, a clear narrative unfolds. The charm and innovation that once set the platform apart are now being tested in a fiercely evolving market. Airbnb's story is a poignant reminder that success in this space is as transient as a last-minute booking. What once was a unique sanctuary for travelers can quickly become just another listing in the vast inventory of options available to modern explorers. This is where you, the savvy consumer, hold the ultimate sway. With every stay you book, you're carving out the future of the hospitality landscape. As you weigh your options, remember the priceless value of authentic experiences, the shared economy, and community, pillars that once formed Airbnb's backbone. Yet, remain vigilant and demanding, wielding your discernment like a beacon guiding companies toward relentless innovation and superior service. In doing so, you're not just securing the best deal for yourself, you're also shaping the market to reflect the values that initially rallied us around shared experiences. The choice is in your hands and the industry is listening. If you found value in this content, please help us grow. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share with your friends, and leave your comments below. Your engagement makes all the difference and helps us continue producing quality content for you. Join our community now.